and then I'll share my screen. Alrighty. Okay, so let's get started with what your class looks like. So if you are newer to Seesaw, or this is the first time you will be monitoring your own classes, I'm going to show you the two places that are going to be really important for you to know about. The first one is going to be in the left-hand corner. When you click on your name, you will see all the classes that you are a teacher or co-teacher in. So these are the classes that I would be a co-teacher or a teacher in. So these are mine. And you can go ahead, and I'm going to show you that really quickly, because here's the create the new class. So I was saying earlier, if you weren't here, that Anna is going to send out an email that says that rostering may not be done, and if it's not, you can create a new class that's like a practice class. So here's how you do it. You go up to your name after you sign in at seesaw.me, and then click create new class. And then I'm just going to label this because I'm probably going to delete this class so it doesn't get mixed up with my class that I'll have for this year. But I'm just going to call it Practice 2021. You can pick any grade level you want, and then you're going to click the green check button. Now, it used to ask you to add students, and now it doesn't. It just allows you to go right into the next screen, which will be your class. And now I can create activities and get things started. So if I don't want to wait for my class to be rostered, but I want to get going on what I need to do, I'll just click the plus button up here, the add, and I'll go to assign activity. So you'll get post student work, assign activity, and send announcement. And when you click on assign activity, it will take you to your activity library. Now, the one thing I want to express is that in the activity library, even though you work with a co-teacher or a group or whatever else, this is strictly your library. So if Laura and I are working in a classroom together and I want to share it with her, I would have to share the activity with her so that she has access to it too. It doesn't automatically go in her library because she's my co-teacher. So I want to make sure you understand that, because a lot of people say, well, I saved it, but I don't know where it's at or how that worked. Well, you can only save it to your own library. So here's where you would create new activity, and you could start a brand new one. And we're going to go through that step by step. But here's like an activity that maybe I want to share with my co-teacher. When I click on it, it'll show me the activity. I can look at the template and all that good stuff. And then I can go to the three dots and I can share activity. Now I can get the activity link here and I can send it to Laura, and then Laura can save it into her own library. And then we both have a copy in our library, and we can, send it out at the same time if we're co-teaching or we're just on the same team and we want to keep things, the same as it goes. You can do email to teachers, but here's the thing. When you click select teachers, sometimes all the teachers show up and sometimes they don't. So sometimes it's just easier for me to just get the activity link and just email that instead of trying to get it through the email address automatically. Okay, so that's how you get to the activity and how to share it. But I'm going to go back to the community because I want to show you how to save an activity to your library, and then I want to show you how you can edit an activity. So again, you want to work smarter, not harder. So here's an all about me. Now, all I did was click up here to the community library, and then I have second grade, and then I'm going to type what I'm searching for. Okay. When I click the enter button, it's going to give me all of the activities that are all about me that teachers have already made. So it's not something that I have to remake. I could take this and I can change anything I want in it. If I wanted to put my face back here instead of this teacher's face, I can do that. So I'm going to go to this one really quick. It's all about me. And it's just a simple background. You can see in the template. If you click on the template, it will show you what it looks like, the blank template. There's nothing in there. And so I can assign it from here, but first I want to click on the pink heart because the pink heart is going to allow it to save to my library. So I can use this over and over again, year after year after year. So I click the pink heart and now it's saved right here. It says all about me is saved to your library. And then you can click right here and assign it to a class, but I'm going to show you how to change things up. So I really like this format, but this is so much wording for my kindergartners or my first graders that I don't want all of this there to distract them. So I can go to the three dots here and I can go to copy and edit activity. So now what it's gonna do is, this was made by Crystal Windsor. What it's gonna do when I copy and edit it, it's now gonna be my activity because I'm changing it. So what I can do is I can see all of these things here. And I think one of the questions that we have when we're making activities is that people say, how do you get those little icons that show what they would see in Seesaw? And I will send that out in an email with this recording as soon as I'm done today, probably afternoon. And I will give you all of those resources so that you'll have everything that you need. Okay, so this is the all about me. And then, like I said, this is just way too many directions for my kindergartners. So I can go in, and since this is my copy, I can delete everything and I can start all over again. And I can just simply write, the icons are the semicolon or the colon and then the word. So this would be add. So they're gonna click add. And then I don't want to give them too many, so I'm just going to say complete the picture with things you like. And then I'm going to write click, and then it's the check mark that they would get afterwards. Now, what's really great, especially with our littles, is that you can do this all with voice instructions. So not only am I giving them the written instructions in case there's a parent helping, I can also have my voice instructions so that the kids can hear exactly what they're supposed to do. So when I click on add voice instructions, I get this little recording tool. Click add response, then complete the pictures with all the things you like. Click the check mark when you're done to submit your work. And then that automatically goes into the directions so that the student can click on my directions, my voice directions, over and over and over again. So if it's something they're not sure that they know how to do, or you're not sure if the language is up to par and they'll know what to do, there you go. So now you also have the opportunity to put in an example. So if you want them to see what this would look like, they would click there and it would show them a link of what Mrs. Windsor likes. And then she drew a picture on her face, and then she used emojis and all that good stuff. It gives them the idea of what it is that they're looking for as a final product. And then the last thing is that they can add a student template. And then the template is right here, and it's the blank one, and you can see all the tools pop up so that the students can use the markers, the pens, they can use the label feature. Some of our kids will, at some point, all of our kids will have iPads, and so they'll figure out how to find the emojis because they just do. And then that's what they'll get. So that is already attached here because all I did was just change what that other teacher did for directions. Now I can save this. And when I save it, you see the name has changed. Now this is my activity because I modified those directions. Now when I wrote click add, you see how it gives them the thing that says add response. So they'll know that's what they would click on first, complete the picture with all the things you like, and then click the green check button. Here is the directions, the voice directions that I left for them. So now I'm ready to assign it. So now I can go over to the right-hand side. I can go to assign, and let's say I'm gonna do it with my demo class. So now you can do this two ways. I can click here and it will assign it to all 62 kids, or I can really specify who I want this to go to. So I only want this to go to, let's say my speech kids. So I'm gonna unlock this, and now I'm gonna choose the students I want it to go to. So this would be my 3 speech kids out of the whole class, and they're the only ones who are going to get this activity. The whole class will not get it. I also have the option to organize this, so I can go up to folders, and now I can go in here and I can actually tag where I want it to go. And if you have a folder that has not been created yet, you simply click here, and now I can add this. Getting to know you, or SEL, whatever you want to call it. And that could be a folder for you and ready to go. You can pick the color if you'd like. And then this is really great because we have this available to us for Seesaw for Schools. Since we're doing remote learning, we don't know how long it's gonna last, and we may have progress reports, or who knows if we get to report cards. You can label anything any piece of digital work can be labeled with a skill. Now I'm working with some of the LMC specialists to try to bulk download skills. So in the beginning, when I created my class and I said that I'm a second grade teacher, it would bulk download all of the second grade standards. So if I clicked on skills, this might be, 2RL4, whatever it is. And then I can click on that, and now this piece of work would be tagged with a skill. I can add new skills. I don't know if the SEL skills are downloaded, but there are SEL skills, which is really great, that you can click on the new add new skill. You can label it. You can add the quick code or the Common Core standard. You can tell what grade it's for, the subject. You can add as many notes as you want, or if you just want to leave it SEL and then just put the standard in, that would also come up for you. You click the green check, and now that skill is saved to your account, not to the school, not to anybody else. It's just saved for this account. All the classes that you would have in this would pop up when you click on skills. So maybe this social and emotional would be here. You can click on it, green check, and now you can assign it to just those 3 students. You put it in a folder and you tagged a skill. So now you can assign it to the class. Now it says, do you want to view it? You can click on here and you can see exactly what the students are going to see. So when the students go to the activities feed here, when they click on the light bulb, this is the first activity that's going to show up. So this was really huge and a lot of questions during remote learning. You cannot move these around in order. So if you want students to start with this, you're going to enter it as an activity for the day's activities very last. So I entered this before this one is going to pop up first. So I want to make sure that I'm doing it almost in reverse order when I'm assigning. So if I want them to do all about me first, then I want their math activity, then I want their reading activity, do it in reverse. Like I would do the math activity first, then the reading activity, then the all about me, so that that's the way it shows up in their feed. Now, Seesaw just came out with this amazing new update that will go live August 14th. So it's a little ahead of the time that it will be released, but this is going to be amazing for everybody. You can go to the 3 dots, and here where it says Get Activity Link, it used to be you can only get this link for teachers. So get teacher share link, and I could share this link with teachers. Now there's going to be an ability to click on that and you will get a student link. And I'm going to show you why that's going to really help, especially in organization. And if you're looking for something where you can organize all the activities that a student might get in one day and show, very uniformity, so that every day they know exactly where they're supposed to go and what they're supposed to do. When they click on activities here, they're going to get everything that's in activities, and they can start scrolling around. Or let's say they miss a day and they're still trying to do yesterday's work and there's today's work. I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to use Stephanie and Laura's example on how they organize for their first graders, because it's really great. Okay, so then I can go back to the journal, and now I can see the things that are in the journal and all that good stuff. What I love about this new update also is that now you can embed a video on any page. So let's say that you have special needs students who maybe the voice instructions isn't going to be enough, and maybe the word instructions are not going to be enough. Well, now you can add a video on top of that. So I'm going to go back here just because I want to show you how to do this if this was the activity that they were doing here. So if I clicked add response, I'm going to pretend I'm student number 1. This would be the template that would send out to students. What I can do is I can click on the little camera button here. Yep.
Could you just show real quick how it says the view instructions on the top? Because someone was asking, can you make an example for the kids?
Yes.
And I was saying there's a different spot for the example and the student response.
Yes, thanks for that. So back when I was doing the template, that teacher had already put in her example. So if students go up to here, it says view instructions, they can see the example here and they can play the instructions over and over again while they're in the activity, before the activity, during the activity, after the activity. They'll always have access to it by clicking on that button that says view instructions. And they can play my voice again, giving them the voice instructions, and the example is linked right there. So they would be able to see that link. If they click on the link, it'll make it big and it'll actually turn it into a post so that they can see it. I'm not going to show them that because I don't want them to then have to worry about getting back into Seesaw. So I'm just going to say the example's right there. Here's my voice instructions, and there you go. Okay, so here's for the next level of differentiation. So now this is the template that I want to send to students, but I want to add a video. So right here, it turns on my camera, and now I can record myself. Boys and girls, today we're going to do an all about me paper. Now I want you to use the emojis, the writing tools, the label tools, and tell me all the things that you are all about you. Also, don't forget to draw your face and give me some really great details in your drawing. When I click done, it's going to turn my face into a video right here. Now what's great about this is I can resize this and I can put it over here. So now for the students who maybe those directions that are written are not good enough, the speaking part of it may not be good enough, now they can actually click on the video, listen to me, see me, and then they can go ahead and they can complete their project. Click on the green check, and then they can move on. So this is a brand new feature that just came out where you can now embed a video wherever you want. So think about all the ways that you can use this in remote learning. This could be the mini lesson. This is you teaching the mini lesson. This is the graphic organizer or the template that they need to do, and it's all in one post. So no more do we have to have a video that links outside of Seesaw to come back to then complete the activity, then to check. It's all in one place. So I think this is going to be really life-changing for our students. I just did a presentation on how to give feedback to students in the same way. So if this is Johnny's math problem and he's really struggling with place value, I can do a reteaching lesson, put it right on the page. And then because we have Seesaw for Schools, we have the ability to add a page. I can duplicate this template. Let's say this was a math template by going to the 3 dots. I can duplicate the page. And then in my voice instructions, my voice feedback, I can say, you know what, Johnny, let's give it one more try. Go to page 2 and complete your activity all over again, and let's see how you do. I can delete my face from this page because it's still on the first page. And then the second page would just be the template where they can recreate or redo their work and go on from there. You can also embed a YouTube video right on the screen. So let's say that I'm teaching them a counting song. I can go to link, and now it's going to ask me for a URL. So if I go to the top and I go to YouTube. Now, last year we had lots of hits and misses with YouTube. Sometimes students could access YouTube videos, sometimes they couldn't. So we started to send everything through like a safe share, a safe YouTube, any of those filters that would kind of, you know, do that. So I'm gonna say counting to 20 song. So let's say that this is the thing that I want them to listen to before they create or finish that activity. So I'm just gonna take this, and now I'm not gonna send it through the filter because I wanna save time here. But if I sent this through a filter, it would give me a new link, and then I can go back into Seesaw and I can put the video on the same page. So now I can resize this, put it here. And then, you know, as visual as you want to be, you can make this so that any student of any age can do things independently. I think that was the biggest argument from parents is that, you know, remote learning takes up so much of my time. Well, we should be giving them things that they can be doing independently. We should be giving them videos that teaching mini lessons that will then help them complete an activity. So you can do this by adding a label in here. And I'm going to use some emojis because who doesn't love emojis when, you know, you are any age. So I'm going to use the eyeballs, and I'm going to put that in here. To get your emoji keyboard on a Mac, it is Control, Command, and Spacebar. So when you do that, you can make this smaller. And now I can say, watch this first. Here's the video, and then watch this again. I can duplicate this. And then I could even add numbers, like if I want them to know that there's 2 things that they have to watch. So watch number 1, oops, and then watch number 2. Then they know which order to do it in. Give them as many visuals that is going to make them successful. You can move these around. You can change the font. You can change the style. You can move all this stuff around. Now, here's the thing. You can lock these into place by going to the 3 dots and locking this. You know there's always going to be a student who figures out how to unlock. So I'm just going to tell you what I do in my classes when I teach literacy enrichment. We talk about digital citizenship, and we talk about how somebody took a lot of time and effort to make this template or to make this assignment for them or to do their work. And for you to go in and start moving things would be like you taking a crayon, reaching over and scribbling on somebody else's work. So really make it about being responsible and digitally responsible, that if you start moving things around, then really that's a consequence of you not having good digital citizenship. And who's going to want to be a friend with somebody who's moving around work or not treating their work the way that they would treat it? So I really haven't had a lot of problems once I put it in that way, where students then kind of are like, oh, okay, I get it. Like I shouldn't be moving things around, or I shouldn't be unlocking things. And it gets to the point where sometimes they come up to you and it's like, is it okay if I unlock this so that I can make my own, you know, thing or whatever? So it takes on its own life. But anyways, when you have any of these things, this will be the link. See this little link button right here? When they see this, they will know to click on this, and this is what takes them directly to the YouTube video. So it still takes them outside of Seesaw, but it still also allows them to have the ability to have everything on one page. So those are the newer features of Seesaw that is really, really great. I can click the green check button. And now this could be for every single student, because remember, if I'm in an activity, this could be the template that I'm adding all of that stuff already in. I happen to sign in as student number 1 just to show you how to add those things. But when you're back in the activity template, those are all the things that you can add as you go along. I know this is kind of fast, but I want to make sure that I get as many details as I can to make you guys successful. So if you have any questions, please keep typing them in the chat. Steph and Laura, anything I need to re-show or questions about something?
Can you just show how to lock items again?
Yep.
I was asking that.
Now, as a teacher, you have the ability to go in here and edit anything. So you can edit students' items, you can edit your own items. However, go to those 3 dots, edit item, and then let's see which item I didn't lock. Right here, if you go to the 3 dots on any item, you will get the opportunity to order it, bring it to front to back, link something. So if this was just a picture from my classroom, like a book, I could click on link and it would give me that same URL, and I can link it from there. I can click lock, I can duplicate, and then I can throw it in the trash. And now I cannot move this until it says unlock to move. Now, if something like this gets stuck on there, you can click on this little finger here, and this little finger would show which parts I can move. It would put like a little, I'm gonna unlock this so that you can see that. See how it puts the spacing around it? So now I can make it bigger and smaller and all that good stuff. If I'm clicking around and nothing is happening, I can always go to this little hand, and then this will show me that I can move that thing around and then relock it back into place.
Sophie, could you go over that the linking activities to other activities is the only thing that's not available on
Yes. Yeah, so everything that I've shown you right now is available. The only thing that is not available is the linking of activities. And I'll just jump to Stephanie and Laura's classroom really quick, just so that you can see what I'm talking about, which is going to make everybody's life amazing this coming year. So here's Stephanie's class, and this is her just playing around of what she thinks this might look like for this coming year. So she put it in sample students, so no students being tagged in it or anything. It's just her trying to figure out like what is the best way to present a daily message. So this is a template that I believe she did in Google Slides, but you can also create this in Seesaw, and I'll show you how to do that really quickly. But then what she did, she's just downloaded the template in here, and then this would be like her master, and then she would change it on a daily basis. So maybe this is what Monday looks like. Right here, the students would click and they would hear her voice, you know, good morning, today is blah, 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 blah. Make sure that you look on the clipboard to know when your Zoom meetings are today, and she can enter the Zoom meeting link. I don't know that that's possible. I'm just saying it because I'm hoping that they let us ease up a little bit on the Zoom craziness. That they could say what time it is, put the link there, whatever else, and the student would be able to just click from there and be able to go to the Zoom meeting. Keep your fingers crossed that we can get that done. Then over here, she could do today's schedule. So what will be nice after August 14th is Stephanie can put in here just the word reading. Now she will create that link to the actual activity. So students don't have to go to the light bulb, find which activity she's looking for. It will automatically link it because she's going to get that link URL that she's going to be able to attach to here. Now, even if you're using with the littlest pre-K kids, you could just make this a book and they know when they click on the book, it's going to be a reading activity. If they click on a dice or a plus sign, that's going to be their math activity. A microscope could be a science activity. You can make everything as visual as you want it to be, but then this would be the page that the students would continuously come back to make sure that they completed their work. Now, there's also another way to kind of keep kids accountable and to keep them organized. After each,
sorry.
Yep.
Do you want, if you click on the sample student, like full person or whatever, if you click scroll, you could see one that looks a little different from this year, so they could see how we listed the activities and how you can't click them, like they don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
That was one of the really last ones, so there wasn't many activities that day.
Okay, so this was what Stephanie sent out last year is what she's saying. So here's her recording of the day because we couldn't embed a video last year and now we can. That's why her face was on the screen. Here's what she's saying. So here's what to do. You can click on this, but nothing's gonna happen.
This is the last
It's
time I
just gonna continue to play her voice because it's the recording. The new update on the 14th will now let students click here and it will automatically take them to the ABC countdown letter Z. And then she doesn't have to worry about saying in her directions, okay, after you listen to my voice, go to the light bulb, click on your activity, blah, 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 blah. Now she can also, because she has multiple page, she can add pages if it's something that she wants them to see or the activity is already built into her organization. Now, some people are doing this with a Bitmoji classroom, which is great, but what I'm finding with Bitmoji classrooms is that they're overwhelming for students. When teachers start putting in all the decorations with chairs and posters and things like that, the students are going to start to click on everything and not everything's going to have a link. And so you're going to start to see that they're going to miss some things because they're clicking so much on different things. I'm not against Bitmoji classrooms. I will even show you how to make one, but I just think that it needs to be simplified. It's about engaging students and keeping them engaged, and it's fun to see a picture of their own classroom or a picture that looks like their classroom and click on links that will take them to activities to do fun stuff. But I feel like sometimes teachers get a little bit overwhelming with trying to make it look exactly like their room, which, you know, our classrooms have a lot of stuff in them. But yeah, so that's what Stephanie was talking about. She would send that out in the mornings every day, and then students would see, this is what to do, this is the optional stuff to do. She would put reminders, she would put something that maybe they should look for in their journal. So everything was done on the first sheet, the first page, and then her additional pages would be any kind of flyers, or today for a Zoom meeting, we had a pajama jam at our school and that was the flyer for it. So she can do this all in one post. Why I think this is really beneficial is because as parents, going through and making sure that they complete each activity is kind of hard to see and do. So this seems to allow parents to see everything on one page. This is everything I know that has to be done today. They can check it off. They can put a line through it, a highlighter, to say that I have completed all of the work for today and now I can send it off to where it needs to go. Does that make sense?
Sophie, someone was also asking, like, how do you make a letter sort and then move things around? You were kind of already showing that, but I don't know if you want to just.
Yep, I'll go into the activity so that you can see how to do all of this right in Seesaw. Now, before some of these updates, we used to create everything in Google Slides and then download it into Seesaw to make things move and things like that. So I'm just going to write example here. Let's just pretend my directions are here. And then I'm going to go to add template for student responses. I'm going to go to the drawing tool. And now I'm going to be smart. I'm going to use my shapes to be able to make some lines here. So here's a line. I'm just gonna move it into place. Okay, and then I'm gonna lock it so I don't forget that that's where it is. I'm gonna go back to shapes, make another shape, and this time I'm gonna turn it. So now I have a sort this way. I'm gonna lock this into place. And let's say that I am doing the at family. And lock that back into place. And then I can do the it family. And I'm gonna lock that into place. Now, let's say that you want to give this to students, they can fill it in themselves. When they get this, they'll be able to click on the label button and they'll be able to put the words here. They can click on the pen. They could write the words if they need to. So I think what somebody's asking is how to use movable pieces. So let's say that I want to pre-create all of the pieces for them. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the label feature and now I'm gonna start adding words. So let's say that I want that. You get the idea. You can do all the pieces that you want here, or if you want, you can go to the label feature, bring up your emoji, and find pictures that they would be able to use. I know they're not gonna know what that is, but it's the best bat I got. Okay, so then the bat will be down there. So then what they do, now I haven't locked any of these bottom pieces. I did not lock any of these bottom pieces. When a student logs into this class, it will take them right to this page. Then they'll be able to take these and move them. So this, all of the stuff I did lock cannot be moved. The pieces that I did not lock are the ones that can be moved over and over and over again. Now remember, this is an activity, so each student is getting their own copy of this. It's not like if Johnny does this, then when Sally goes in and she tries to do the activity, it's already done for her. No, that's not the way it works. An activity is a blank piece. It's the brand new activity that students will be able to complete. So they'll be able to move these pieces however they want. I'm gonna click on this because, or actually I'll just add a page because I wanna show you some of the awesome backgrounds that make my life much easier. So if I was making a template for this and it wasn't a sort, but I wanted them to do some writings. So Seesaw has all these fun backgrounds. You can make it all different colors, but this is my favorite part down here is because they have writing paper. So you can make this an activity and a prompt all in one. So again, it could be a video recording of your face up here in the corner reading what the prompt is, or this could be a text and you can just say, tell me about your summer. And then you can move this, you can lock it into place. And then when students get this template, they can either use the marker tools down here, pencil tools, or they can use the text feature and they can go ahead and they can type in everything that they want. But the paper is set, it's in the background, it cannot be moved, you cannot do anything with it. So another great way that you can incorporate that. I believe in the backgrounds there's also graph paper, which is great for second graders when we're teaching regrouping. This is great spatial awareness for them on what is the tens place, the hundreds place, the ones place. I did that backwards, you know what I meant. They have the geo boards if you're using that. There's even actual musical paper staff writing. And then there's also the notebook paper page. So if they don't need this fat back paper, they can use this. And then that's it. It's good to go. And it stays in the background so that, again, like I said, it's not something that can be moved. It's something that they can just add to and do it that way. So I'm going to show you kind of what Stephanie did, like a Bitmoji classroom.
Oh, okay, good. Because, sorry, Laura was asking in the chat how I got that like bulletin board background and stuff. So I mean, you could Google it too, but I have my screen up if you want me to share. I went to Google and I did like the no background. And then there was like a clip art.
So, okay, she went to just Google. She did.
I typed in bulletin board, no background.
Bulletin board, No background. I'm going to show you how to remove a background too, though, because it's a really great trick to know. Okay, so let's say she decided to use this one.
Yeah, or the one in the next row, maybe it was middle.
This one?
That one probably, yeah. And then usually it had like a free download, because some of them, if you do it from there, it still has the background. Sometimes you click on it and then it allows you for a free download. And that's what I did and put it on my desktop and dragged it.
Yeah, but this is a great time for me to show you this amazing little trick, but I don't know that I can do it on this one. Let me go back to my regular screen, because Seesaw also has a, yeah, it's not on this one. Sorry, I have so many screens open right now. It's insane. Oh, this was what the parent side was going to look like. So I'm going to do this really quickly because this is where my extension is, and I'm going to have to get out of it as a parent before I can show you what it is as a teacher. But I wanted to show you what parents get because everybody asks this. So I signed in as a parent of the fake student in my classroom just so that you could see what it looks like. So when the parents sign up for the family app, they get notifications every time their student enters something into their journal. You can change, the parents can change the notification so that they only get one at the end of the day and kind of see all the work that is happening. We were using Seesaw before we used Seesaw for schools for remote learning. So a lot of our parents were already connected with that other app. I know that during remote learning, a lot of people just use the class app to send announcements and have parents check that way. This was completely separate and individual, and I recommend this only because we don't know what this year is going to look like. If we do go back to school, this is still a great way for you to stay in communication with families. So they'll get an invite, and I'll show you that really quickly too. They'll get an invite that has a QR code that is specific to their child's journal. So when they download the app and they create an account, they scan the QR code, and then it sends them right to their own child's journal only. So when they do that, this is what they would get. Now, this just happens to be more than one student. So if you have siblings that everybody's using Seesaw, this could be Johnny, and I could click on Johnny's class because he's only in one class. If he was in multiple classes, I could click on his multiple classes, or I could just click on the one class that he's in and see his work. I could go back to journals, and then I can click on the other student, look at that class, and see what was happening in that student's journal for that student. The inbox is what's probably most important and what we loved about it, especially at OP, was because anything that is sent as a message, a text, would be translated automatically into their native language if their device is set up in their native language. So I'm going to say that again because this is probably the biggest question we get. When you get a new phone, the first question that comes up is, what language would you like it in? So we select English, that's our native language. Other people may select Spanish or Polish or whatever else, which means they're communicating in their native language on their device. So if I have a parent that comes in and they have selected Polish as their native language on their device, even though this is in English on their device, they will get a little button down here that says see translation. And when they click on it, it will show them these words in English in their native language. Well, you can only imagine how much this has changed our lives at Orchard Place. For all the teachers that don't have Spanish as their second language, we can now communicate with parents over, constantly without having to worry that we need a translator to have this conversation. What we started to notice, especially Stephanie and Laura had almost 100% parents on this app, was that the communication really starts flowing. They're feeling comfortable that, oh, she may not know Polish, but I can still, have a conversation with her and tell her everything that I need to tell her without waiting for somebody to say this for me. So it really opened up that avenue of being able to communicate with families on a regular basis. Even sending things like this, like, oh, it's field day, don't forget tomorrow's conferences, look for papers. Those are the kinds of things that we want to make sure that parents are getting that communication with. So I'm going to get out of this because I signed in as a family member just because I wanted you to see what it looked like. They scroll through here and they have the ability to like a post and then comment. And you know that kids love any kind of comments that parents are going to be able to give them. You can have up to 10 family members sign up for a student for an account. It can be associated with a student's journal. So you can get grandma, grandpa, everybody else on board with that too. Sorry, I have so many sign-ins. I just want to make sure that I get the right one.
And with the comments and everything too, if a parent emails you in Spanish, we have that same option where we can see translation. So it goes both ways for parents and teachers.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to where she Googled bulletin board, background. I'm going to show you this awesome trick because it has saved my butt a million times. So even if this wasn't a free download, and I'm not telling you to do anything illegally, I'm just simply showing you a way that works. So if I wanted to take this bulletin board right from here, Seesaw has an extension, I think it's called Reflect in Seesaw. If you go to the Chrome store, it will download, and you see right here, it's up here on my toolbar. So I can click on this, and now it'll ask me if I want to capture the whole screen or if I just want to capture the picture. And then I can just go in here, and now I wouldn't do this because it has arrows and all that stuff, but I'm just showing you what it could look like. And it will automatically put it into a Seesaw post. So if this was my template for my activity, it automatically put it in there. I didn't have to download it, then re-upload it, any of that. It simply goes right into there. So now I can resize this. I can do whatever I wanted to do here. And the same goes for the Bitmoji. The Bitmoji also has a Chrome extension. When I click on my Bitmoji, it will bring up my Bitmoji. And the trick is if you want you without any words, you just type in the word pose, and then it will show you with all the poses without any words. So here you go. So I'm in Bitmoji. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to right click. I'm going to copy image, and then I'm going to post it. And there we go. My Bitmoji is now on my screen. Okay, and then Stephanie just went through and she Googled different things. So if she wanted a computer, she Googled the computer. If she wanted a Post-it note, she Googled the Post-it note and entered each one of those pieces. So I'm going to show you what happens when you find something that does have a background, how to remove it. So let's say that I want a scoop chair. Okay, so let's say this is in my classroom and I want to put it in my Bitmoji classroom. I go to this website. It is called remove.bg. And then this is so simple. So I'm just going to go here. Oops, let me get out of this one too. Goodness gracious, I have so many windows open. Okay. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to take the scoop chair and I'm just going to put it on my desktop just so that it's nice and simple for me to put back in. Here's the remove BG. I put it here. And then what this app does is that it removes the background. So when I download this picture, the background is removed. See all those checks? If there was a bookshelf behind it, whatever else, it would be gone. So now this is, oops. This is my scoop chair. I'll put it on my desktop just so I don't forget where it's at. And now when I'm in Seesaw, I can go to upload. And now I'm just taking it from my desktop because that's where I put it. Oops, scoop chair. And then there's my scoop chair. So that's an awesome app or program that allows you to remove the background from anything and put your items on that page. So let's say this was the Post-it note that Stephanie had in this corner over here. That's how she would put it in there. And now all of these items here, remember, these are the ones that are going to be locked because this is going to be her template for her daily correspondence with students. Now, I will tell you that when you do download from the internet, you know, a picture, you're going to get a link. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to get rid of that. If you go to the 3 dots and you click on link, see right here, it's showing the link, and I really don't want any kid to click on that because it's just going to take them to a Google image search. You can just put the X, and now it's unlinked this item from having an external link to go to. So that's how you would add items onto the page directly, and how to add items that don't have a background if you're looking for things like that. Especially, I've seen people use that remove BG when they're taking pictures of themselves in their classroom. Like, this is what you should look like when you're sitting and writing, and you can take your own image and kind of stick it in there without all of the background noise to it. We have about 10 minutes, so I just want to make sure, are there any other questions that you guys have before we leave? You're more than welcome to join us in the next 2 sessions, which is, I'm feeling pretty good about what I know about Seesaw, and that's tomorrow morning, I think, and then the next one is the expert group. But you please feel free to ask questions now. Now's the time for me to give you some help. You can always reach out to me. I know Steph and Laura are also available to give you guys some tips, or you start this and then you get stuck. I'm always willing to help out. And I think that this program is so powerful that it really makes sense for me to really teach it and to make sure that we're really good at it, because it really makes our life easier, and working, smarter instead of harder is definitely what we need right now. Just trying to figure out how we're going to get through remote learning and, whatever else it is that we have going on for the next few months. But this is definitely a tool that really sit and practice with. I think that's the best advice, is if you just play around with it, that's where you're going to learn how to do so many things with it. Oh, I remember, I was going to show you how to invite parents. So down here, this is where you add students in case you have a new student. But again, because we're Seesaw for Schools, I think your Seesaw administrator, which is your LMC specialist, should be adding students the minute that they're put into Tyler, so that they have an ID number. But here's how to invite families. Oh, of course, it's not going to do it because I don't have families in this one. Let me see. I'll go to Stephanie's class real quick. So she would click here on families, and to invite families, and this will allow you to do it in 2 or 3, 4 different ways. You can send an email, or you can send it as a text to their mobile number, or you can go up here and you can print invites. And when you print invites, you have all of these language to choose to send the invite to. This gives very specific instructions on how to how parents would download the family app, how they would connect to it, how to scan the QR code so that it goes directly to their student. I'm not going to show you because for privacy reasons, but this is what it would look like really quickly. And that's how she would be able to connect with students. So the first page is for teachers, and then this is currently connected families. You can see all of her families that were already connected, so that she has an idea of who would still need the invite and who was still not connected. What's great about Seesaw for Schools too is that once they are connected, so if we get 100% of our kindergartners connected, they will be connected for the whole time that we stay a Seesaw for Schools district. So you do not have to invite parents over and over and over again to connect to their child's journal. It will simply roll over, and their contact information will continue to be attached to their student journal. So that is an amazing thing. So if we can get everybody in the lower grades to get everybody connected, it's going to make the upper grades so much simpler to just get those kids connected. And of course, any new kid that joins the district will also have that opportunity too. Okay, any other questions in the chat?
So some people are asking about folders and how to search for the
great.
folders once you've created them.
Okay, fantastic. I think I'm going to go back to my demo class if I can get back into it.
And then just while you're doing that, another question was, like, they wanted to show you how you embed a video that they've created, but I think there's a difference on there because you would have to embed that video as a link, but you could record your live video. You know what I'm saying? You could show them that.
Absolutely. So I'll show you both ways. I don't know that I have a embedded video, but I could show you what this looks like. So remember, you can start with the video right away. You can start with the drawing tool and then add your video. So let's say that this is something that you've already created on Zoom, or you want to take your Zoom lesson and you want to bring it into your Seesaw class. Maybe a student missed it, or maybe they've been absent for the day. If you click on the 3 dots and you go to link, you would enter the link from your Google Drive. Now, here's the thing that we found with that. Every account, every email account in the district, you have a YouTube channel automatically. It's just given to you with your Gmail account. I highly recommend that you upload anything that you want to share with students up to YouTube, because what we found last year was that when we would link a Drive video that lives in Drive, we recorded it and put it in Drive, if students are not logged into their Drive, it gives them that whole login page and they can't access the video. So my recommendation is once you have the video in Drive, start your YouTube channel, and you can make everything private. This is some place where you can just make videos and store them. Keep it private and then just put the URL in here. And you can set it so that only people with the link to the actual YouTube video can see it. Well, you're giving the students the link so they'll be able to see it. Again, remember the craziness with YouTube. Sometimes they go through, sometimes they don't. You'll have to go through a safe share or something like that. Put that link in here, and your face, your video that you did from Zoom, like today's Zoom meeting, I could make a link and put into a Seesaw classroom, and it would be available for everybody. The other way was just to go to here, click on video, and now my face is on here. I can do my mini lesson, talk about nouns and verbs, whatever it is, and then I can go ahead and I can insert it into the class, and it would be available right there. Okay, the other question was folders, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to that. And this is what I love about folders, because if Gary was my speech teacher and he didn't want to deal with all of this crazy Seesaw stuff, and he's like, listen, I'm making great activities, I'm just gonna send you the activity link, can you send it to your 2 speech kids? I'd be fine with that. Again, whatever teachers want to do, it's their choice. But here's the thing that I love about this, is that if Gary wanted to make sure that this speech child had what they needed, I could make him, let's pretend this is Gary's name, he's Mrs. Green today. I'm gonna put this item in Mrs. Green's folder, okay? Now, do you see how I did that after the fact? The student has already completed their work. I can add it to a folder then, or remember when I was assigning the activity and I clicked on the folder? Either way. Now, what makes this simple for Gary is he can log into my class as a co-teacher. He can go to the folder and he can click on Mrs. Green. And now the only things he is going to see are Mrs. Green's assignments. He doesn't have to scroll through the 950 million posts that students have been posting all week. He just sees the things that he needs to see for his students. So that's the part that's awesome about folders. And again, you can create folders through the wrench, or as you're doing each activity, you can assign it a folder right away. And then I also just showed you how to add a folder once something has been posted. So in here, you just click on the folder. You can assign it to a folder, or you can click on create a folder and then add a new folder and be done. I do love using emojis when I do folders, especially for the little kids, because then they know, oh, the paint palette is art. I gotta click on that and make sure that it goes into there. The plus is math. Oh yeah, the books are reading. So any kind of visuals for the little kids also is great. And then you just click the green check and then it puts it into that folder so that it would be quick and easy for him to see that. I forgot to show you also here, see where it says seen by Sophia Smith. I am this child's parent in that fake account. So this shows when a parent has seen the item through the family app. So that
and Sophie, someone asked about that when you can choose, or so like it shows up as the seen by. That only happens when we're on the laptop in the Seesaw, or can you see that?
I think it's on both. I think you can see it either way.
Because someone was asking, how do you turn that on? And I feel like it's just on there anyways, right?
It is. There is no control to turn that on and off as far as I know. Every time I've seen it, it says seen by, and you can see which parents have seen it. So if you tag more than one student, that was the thing too, I forgot to mention that. So let's say that's all about me was between Stephanie and I. We had to work on it as a collaborative project. I can tag both students in it. To do that, you go to the 3 dots and you can click edit people. And so not only did student number 1 work on this, but student number 2 worked on it too. And now both of those parents would get a notification. This is in each one of their journals. So if I click on number 1, I can see that it's in their journal. And if I click on number 10, it will show that it's in their journal. So that was a great way for parents who were like, or teachers who were like, how do I, if the settings are that students can't see each other's work, how do students collaborate on anything or give feedback back? So we had this conversation in Stephanie's class where the student did like an amazing piece of work and she said, can I share this with the whole class? She can go in there, she can edit people and they can see that whole thing. The other way is a blog, but that's a whole nother PD I can do for you, which I'm happy to show you how that works. But before I do leave, I wanted to tell you that there's an amazing site. It's called help.seesaw.me. And when I send the email with all of this stuff, I will send these links to you guys so you will have them. So it's help.seesaw.me. You can type in any question that you have, like, I don't know how to add a student. It will walk you through it. Sometimes it gives you like a quick 30-second video that helps you through. The other one is that they have a lot of live trainings right now, and that is web.seesaw.me/training. And that gives you a ton of videos. I'm going to get to it real quick. To show you like things that maybe you're like, I'm still confused and Sophie went way too fast and maybe I needed to take another class. Here's how new teachers get started, and they have a specific one for Seesaw for Schools. How to create my first activity, walks you through step by step. Getting families started, this will walk you through how to invite parents and what to do. Remote learning on Seesaw gives you some great ideas. And then beyond the basics, these mini trainings are literally 2 or 3 minutes long. So how to do co-teachers, how to send an announcement, feedbacks and drafts. Their site is seriously amazing. There are so many things on here that you can find that you can log into, you can register for, and it's quick, simple answers instead of waiting for somebody to teach you how to do it. They always have lots of videos available, and their YouTube channel is amazing. So you can go to their YouTube channel and also check out any quick videos that would help you do something that's quick and easy.
2 things, Sophie, from the chat.
Yeah.
One is how do they do the whole like uploading a video to YouTube and putting it on there? And I said it's not hard, it just was too much to type here. I don't know, sometimes you make a video of that, maybe, I don't know, you could share that at another time.
Yeah, you know what, I'll write it on my list of things to do to try to get a quick tutorial on how to do it. It's not very hard. It's just going to be too many steps for me to try to get into my YouTube channel. So
yeah, and I can look because you sent me an email about it one time, so maybe I have that too.
Okay, and if not, then I'll be happy to do it. Just please stay on me and email me like crazy because it's been a little crazy lately with Seesaw stuff, but I promise I will get to you as soon as I can to answer any individual questions.
And then one other thing, Carolyn asked about a training video on icons to navigate Seesaw for parents and the kids. And I had this exact same question because Seesaw has so much PD for like the teachers, but I wanted one like a kid view. And I posted on this Facebook group, whatever, a woman does have them and they're on like as like YouTube links and saved as activities. So I'm going to look at them and make sure I like them all. And then I can share those to the district library. So they're in there. I mean, she does say like, hi, this is Mrs. Jones, and let me show you how to navigate our class. But I mean, to me, it's worth me not having to remake all those videos, even though it has her name at the front. So I can put those in the district library.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Steph, because I did forget to show you that when I went into the district stuff. So I want to show you what Stephanie was just talking about. So when I was in the demo class, I was not linked to my district account. Here's the district account. You have your library. You have the community library, which is and Seesaw ambassadors from all over the world who are contributing, and you'll find amazing things. So always check there before you start creating an activity, because it's very possible somebody already did it. But then because we're Seesaw for Schools, we have this amazing button called School and District Library. And some of these are specific to what we're using. So Words Their Way sorts are in here that people have already made. I know there's things for like the wonders. Somebody had done like week 4, chapter 3, whatever it is. Like they're all in here. So definitely check here to see if these are some of the things that maybe somebody's already doing in our district that has to do with our curriculum. And the way you get to that, again, I'm going to go back to the class just so that you could see how I did that. I went to the green plus, I went to assign activity, and then it'll take me to the activity library. And again, you have your library, you have the school and district library, and then you have the very large community library. And same thing, if there's this lesson that I really like, the emoji daily check-in, oh, look at Carolyn, it's right there. And then I can click on the heart, and now that will save it to my activity library, and now I have a copy of that. Now remember, you can go back in, you can edit however you want. If you don't want her voice and you want the students to hear your voice, you can re-record your voice over it. However you want to modify it would work too. Are we good? I know. Don't look so stressed out. We got this. We can do this. There was a lot. It's recorded. I will send you the recording. You can review it 100 times. You can stop it. You can ask questions. You can email me. I will be happy to help you as much as I can. It's crazy up until like next Tuesday. And then by Wednesday, hopefully, I'll just be crazy with regular school stuff. But absolutely, any questions, join the sessions tomorrow. I don't know that you're going to learn a whole lot more, and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. I'll try to record those other sessions so that maybe in a few months when you feel like you're ready for the next step, you can jump there. But thanks so much for joining, guys. I'm so glad that at least you got some questions answered, and at least I could help you kind of move on to the next step.
Thank you, Sophie, Laura, and Stephanie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sophia.
Ladies.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.